Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. This is Norman. It's day 18. It's going to be a wild ride today.
Grumble, 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 grumble. For perhaps the last time in this entire tournament, you and I are drinking the same thing today.
That makes me a bit sad.
Yeah, you're more concerned with it than I am, but it does make editing a lot easier, so I'm a little sad too, I have to admit. Let's talk about how we got here. These two bottles right here are heavy hitters in this tournament, the most expensive bottles in this tournament. Really quickly, this is Cal Farms 15-year and NULU Toasted Rye, and these two bottles have knocked out Evan Williams 1783, they've knocked out Redwood Empire Lost Monarch, they've knocked out Old Overholt 114 Rye, which I thought was going to be a Cinderella story this year, and they've knocked out Old Bardstown Estate Bourbon, and then Weller Full Proof Bourbon and Rocktown Single Barrel Proof Bourbon. So these bottles have been stellar.
On a journey.
Yeah, on a tear, really. Let's just go to the statistics really quickly, and then we'll get on with this tasting.
Love it.
All right, first up, NULU Toasted Rye. This is a single barrel from Roco Spirits, Sacramento, California. 112.6 proof, 5 years aged, Prohibition Craft Spirits whiskey made by MGP. This is a $100 bottle.
Yikes.
And that's the cheap one in this matchup. Next up is Calumet Farm Single Rack Black 15-year bourbon, 105 proof, aged 15 years of course, from Western Spirits. This one sourced from 1792, Barton Distilling, and it's $130. So both of these whiskeys sourced, both of these whiskeys fantastic. Who's ready?
I'm ready, and I will say that I'm a bit annoyed that we've moved so many highfalutin bottles forward.
Goodness. I'm a little annoyed that we moved so many high proof bottles forward because I have to be a little bit honest. We've been drinking for, this is the 18th straight day.
It's a lot.
The deeper we go into this tournament, the higher the proof seems to get on average. It's getting to be a lot. So let's get to the nose, glass number one.
Great.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a rye spice bomb,
I kind of forgot that we were drinking the same thing.
I forgot that there was a rye in this matchup until I smelled that.
Oh, there is a rye. I also forgot that there was rye.
Unless suddenly that bourbon has a huge rye nose on it, that's wild.
I could easily make myself think that one is the other, but glass number two is deliciously bourbon.
They both have a lot of spice to them. Glass number one, a lot of citrus and that sort of zestiness, which makes me think rye. Glass number two, just tons of beautiful bourbon notes on the nose. Let's find out. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. I shook my head out of the gate because I know this one's gonna suck.
Seriously, yeah.
This is a lovely minty finish, which I have not noted in the previous rounds.
It's warming as well, and actually on the finish here, I'm getting like a lemongrass, which I don't know if I've ever tasted on a whiskey before. That is delightful. It coats, the finish is lasting an eternity here. I'm gonna clear my palate and I'm gonna go after glass two because glass one is so good. There's so much flavor.
It makes me very happy.
Yeah, we need to take some time and reset our palates because that one is a palate wrecker right there. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
Agreed. Shall we move on to glass two?
I can't wait, here we go. That's another treat right there.
Oh boy.
Cherry candy, butterscotch, little bubble gum, really rich oak, well aged.
I'm sad.
This is a quality. Ooh, there it comes on the finish with more flavor. No, this one just keeps on giving. It's like the Santa Claus of whiskeys right here.
As I was taking that sip, taking the full sip, I was like check marking all of these flavors that I was getting. Now I'm not gonna remember all of them. It was a ride.
The bubble gum is what I'm getting on the finish here. That is incredible flavor. Wow, it pairs so well with the oak. Why would bubblegum and oak pair so well?
I don't know.
It's great.
These glasses, both of them.
They're winners. They're both winners.
This is gonna be one. Yum. Sorry.
This whiskey keeps interrupting us. I can't get a sentence out.
Yeah, this is gonna be one that I'm gonna have to sit, like this matchup, I'm gonna have to sit with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
To really think things through. The oakiness on glass number two.
Yeah.
It is stellar.
Yeah. And I just realized that I have the wrong light set up, and it's really, really bright and blue and white and weird. So I'm gonna go adjust the color on it real quick so the rest of this video isn't super annoying. Oh, that lighting is so much better.
It is a little bit more subtle and appealing.
I feel more natural.
Speaking of appealing things, I'm gonna try glass number 1 because I feel like you know where you're gonna go already with this. And to me, this is a little bit tougher.
This will be a tougher matchup for you, I already can tell, simply because of the way that your palate leans. I definitely have a favorite here so far. We'll see how this shakes out though. Glass 1, some tobacco notes there, which is nice. I'm not getting a lot of oak on glass 1, and my palate preference when it comes to pretty much any whiskey is if one of them is presenting with a ton of really nice oak, that's where I go. And so right now, glass 2 with that huge oak profile is trouncing glass 1 because of that flavor note. Glass 1 has a lot going for it, but glass 2 is just hitting my palate perfectly today.
Yeah, I will say that glass 2, the flavors are a lot more pronounced. You're getting some tobacco on glass 1, but I'm getting that actually on glass 2 with a nice, like almost like a cigar hit with a nice, deep, rich oakiness to it. I'm glad whatever's in glass 2 that she's made it this far.
Well, it's interesting that you say that you're getting tobacco on glass 2 because I think what I'm getting on glass 1 is probably pipe tobacco. Glass 2 is cigar, like you said. All that stuff, the same tobacco goes into everything, but it's the type, what you associate it with. And what I associate with pipe tobacco is what I remember from my grandpa. And so that's what I'm getting here. I'm a happy guy right now. These are both delicious.
It is funny. There's something like bubblegummy about glass number 2. I've said this in videos, not in the tournament, but like previously in this year, that I have this weird thing where like I'll be chewing bubble gum and then I'll accidentally like eat a pretzel or something and then like kind of mix them.
Accidentally. Like, oh, the pretzel tripped and fell and landed in my mouth.
Landed in my mouth, and there we go. But I'm getting that kind of nice chewiness, but there's just something about that in glass number 2 that's just kind of like the meld of flavors.
It's textural. It's satisfying in that way. The same way like eating peanuts and chewing on gum can be satisfying, and I don't know why that is. You've actually said this before.
Yep.
That's what I get from glass 2, and I've been working on glass 1. I'm focused on it because I really do like it, and so I'm looking for anything that will sort of throw a rope to that glass and save it for me. Glass 2 has it for me. I'm going to go ahead and call it.
The glass 2 has a very wonderful dark cherry note to it as well. Not candy, but like a dark cherry note.
Yeah, like a black cherry. Yeah.
I love glass number 1. There is a little bit of bite to glass number 1 that I'm not enamored with. I don't have any like knocks against number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 it is for me.
And again, we're nitpicking. Both of these are stellar.
Nitpicking, oh for sure.
The glass number 1, I mean, all day long. It's a beautiful glass. But glass number 2, I can't fault it. And that is a dangerous glass in this tournament, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to find out. So let's have a look. I've got A.
I do too.
Let's see what A is. Calumet Farm 15. The most expensive bottle in the tournament again.
I cannot believe how delicious it is.
I feel a little bit bad for giving this bottle a hard time, and I feel bad for the people who filled out their brackets based on historical information, historical data that you got from us talking about this bottle in the past. This bottle has not just opened up, it has exploded into beautiful flavors. When we first got it, it was overly hot, it was overly spicy, it was uncomfortable on the palate, uncomfortable on the finish. All of that is gone. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the rest of this tournament. It's fantastic.
It's going to be very interesting moving forward.
And very delicious. Well, NULU Toasted Rye back on the shelf, and that's going to be a great winter sipper right there.
Open, ready to share.
That's the spirit, right? That's it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that your bracket survived today. If you're not following us on Instagram, you should be at The Bourbon Van. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/TheBourbonVan, and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.